Hey, tell me, did you buy any Bitcoin?
Of course.
Do you have any Bitcoin? Do you have any Bitcoin?
Do I have any Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's Bitcoin Mania. Do you have any Bitcoin?
I have no Bitcoin, man.
Why not?
Because it's not real.
Do you have any Bitcoin?
I don't, no.
Why not?
I don't know, man.
Nobody bought you any yet?
Nobody's bought me any yet, bro.
Do you guys have any Bitcoin?
No.
Can we bother you about Bitcoin?
Do I own Bitcoin?
Yeah.
No, I do not.
I think Bitcoin's a scam, personally.
I have Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I just did it. I did it for what you said. I did it, and I put $200 in.
Yeah.
So I don't have a Bitcoin. I have this much of a Bitcoin, and I've done well.
So cryptocurrencies have had a wild ride this year, culminating in a huge rise and fall over the past 2 months. Folks who are crypto multimillionaires are now merely crypto millionaires, and thousands of people have bought a Bitcoin or a fraction of a Bitcoin just to see what the fuss is about. And what is it about? To answer that, let's talk to my buddy Jameson Lopp. So Jameson, you're my favorite crypto genius, crypto guru. I need you to tell me what's going on. What just happened in 2017? Why did many of us become multimillionaires and then stop being multimillionaires in like 15 seconds?
Well, that's the way it goes. I mean, we're on this cutting-edge technology journey where I would say the vast majority of the price movement's just speculation, and the actual utility of these things is still probably a tiny fraction of the actual exchange rate. So as a result, we have drama, we have governments and regulators coming in, and you have big swings when people get afraid or when people get really bullish. So it's going to continue to be like that for the foreseeable future.
The foreseeable future is how long?
Probably years. I mean, it's hard to say, where are we on that adoption cycle? We keep going through these peaks and troughs, but as far as anybody can tell, while one of the things that really changed about Bitcoin and crypto assets in 2017 is it became more of a mainstream word. A lot of people have heard of it now, but really I think the actual adoption of people that own it and use it is probably still well under 1%.
Okay, so if you have it now, should you buy? Should you sell? Should you hold? Should you give it to you?
If you believe in the technology and the promise of the future that is a decentralized world where people can be more empowered to interact with everyone else that they want to in a permissionless way, if you think there's value in that and you're already in the system, just hold on. Feel free to try to stay up to date with things, or just forget about it and come back in a few years. And while no one really knows where the price is going to go, if we can continue to get the adoption and the interest to go up even just a little bit every year, then I think that it's going to be a very good investment.
Are there any major milestones for 2018 that people should be looking for?
Yeah, so from a technical standpoint, and of course scaling and getting these systems to be able to actually go to the mainstream level is probably one of the biggest things that people have been talking about. And so for the Bitcoin side of things, these second layer networks like Lightning Network have been really on the roadmap for several years. People have been working on this for several years now, and I think that all of that hard work is finally going to come to fruition, and we're going to finally have the promise of instant, fast crypto payments that are cheap and are able to do high volume transfers, which is not really possible with the current technology.
So the way to think about this new world is to imagine a teeming marketplace, kind of like this one, before the rise of something like Wall Street. Right now, there are a group of often anonymous people building the rails for the coming financial systems of the future. They're building loan systems, money transfer systems, record keeping, and payments. But in the interim, it's a free-for-all. Can you make money? Absolutely. Does rumor and innuendo fuel the motion of the crowd? Yep. And is this the future? Let's ask someone who might know. You have some deep background in essentially, I guess, digital payments, right? So you used to work for PayPal.
Correct.
Okay. How does what happened at PayPal way back when compare to what's happening now? Does it compare? Does it contrast?
I think it's a lot. I think it's on steroids. Before we're just transferring digital money from A to B, but now we actually have virtual money, and it's real. Okay.
So this whole virtual money thing, should the average person start working in it? Should the average person start caring about it?
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of the blockchain is about decentralization. It's about empowering everyone to be an investor
So I remember back in the PayPal days, you didn't feel like you could trust like escrow services, you could trust payment services for a long time. Are we in that same situation? Do we have to eventually grow that trust? Is this whole system worth trusting yet?
I think so. I'm a futurist.
Okay.
I think you have to be careful, but I think it's the whole idea of the blockchain is that it allows for transparency and builds trust.
What is the specific difference between 1997 and today? What are we still looking at companies? Are we still looking at team, product market fit, or is there something extra special that we have to think about before we start investing in these ICOs?
Something really special is the tokens, right?
Okay.
How is the tokens integrated into the company, right? And two, when you're investing in a public company like that's IPO, they have certain disclosures, right? But for an ICO, it's a new company, so all they have is a white paper. So we have to really go beyond that white paper to see whether are they going to do the thing they're going to say they're going to do.
We have to assume a lot of risk, right?
Correct.
But is there going to be a payoff?
I think it depends on your strategy. Some people buy and then they sell, right? Do you want to buy and sell, or what kind of companies do you want to hold for the long term?
Okay, and people are going to figure that out slowly but surely. How many more years before this becomes commonplace?
I think it's going to be common by the end of the year.
By the end of the year?
Yeah.
All right, so there we go.
Yeah,
so everything's crazy, trust no one, and be very careful. Do your homework.
Do your homework.
So what is all this cryptomania? Well, it's cryptocurrencies, token sales, and plain economics at play in a very technical way. What was once the domain of a few rich Brahmins has become this unique and powerful force, changing the way we all do business. And how far can all this go? As the Bitcoin geniuses say, to the moon?